What's happening, Achievers? Ajit Sidhu here from Invincible Achievers. I want to start off with a story of when I was very young. I was at the age of 12 and I always wanted to perform. I wanted to build my confidence and be able to perform on stage in front of thousands and thousands of people. And this was a dream that I had when I was very young, a dream that I wanted to become an actor. And so to build my confidence, I had an amazing opportunity to go with my father to India for 4 weeks by myself to build my independence. And at the age of 12, I left my parents, my mum and my sisters, and I went with my father to India. And I was upset missing my mum, but I knew that I would be able to build my confidence and walk down the path of achieving my goal, my vision that I would like to get. And when I got to India, it was a completely different world in those days. My eyes opened up to a different way of living. At the age of 12, my cousins over there, they got me into a car and they said, "You're driving." And I said, "What do you mean I'm driving? I'm 12. And they said, "Doesn't matter, you drive, you got to drive all the way from here to the next village." And I drove a car at the age of 12. Then they put me on a scooter and me and my cousins, we raced down the fields. And then there was a tractor. There was a field where I was allowed to jump onto the tractor and drive the tractor around the field, plowing the field. And it was so exhilarating, and my confidence just boosted up. And I thought, this is awesome, such an amazing experience. And another thing that we did, which I would never let any of these things, I would never let my children do. Me and my cousins, what we used to do, it was jump from one house to another house, roof to roof. And the gaps were quite big. Well, it wasn't even that, it was bigger. Sometimes it was smaller, but sometimes it was big, leaping. Anytime I could have slipped and fallen. I don't know what I was thinking, but my confidence was sky high. I was feeling great. And then the time came when I had to travel with my dad to pick up my mum and my sisters. And we went to the airport in Delhi. And I saw my mum and I hugged her. And I missed her so much. I remember missing her so much for the 4 weeks without her. And I said, "Oh, Mom, I really missed you." And she said, "What?" And I said, "Oh, Mom, I really missed you." And she went, "What?" And I tried talking at that point. And I started talking to other people. And I realized that what was going on in my head and my inner chatter that I've spoken about, as it was coming down to my vocal cords, they weren't coming out the same. It was coming out in a mumbling way. It was coming out, the sound was coming from my nose and mixed with my mouth, and people couldn't understand. And during the remaining 4 weeks in India, my confidence went from up here down, and frustration started building up. People weren't understanding me anymore. So I started trying to get them to understand. When I got back to London, my mum made appointments with doctors to find out what was wrong. They checked my hearing. Maybe they thought I might be going deaf, but nothing was wrong with my hearing. Then they booked me in for to get a surgery to remove my tonsils. Each of these little steps breaking my confidence down, kept breaking my confidence down to the point where I had no more confidence to be able to speak to anyone. And when you don't speak to people, you become internalized. You start feeling alone. You start feeling worthless. But one thing I did not give up on was hope. There was always hope that remained. And through the process of going through the operations and going to the doctors and the doctors not being able to figure out, the same time when I was at school, at the same time, my friends started to mocking me. They started to almost bully me to the point where I had to defend my self-worth through actions, which I did not like. Looking back at it, every single week, I used to get into 1 or 2 or 3 fights at school, just so I can have some self-worth left inside of me. But I did eventually get my voice back. 6 years passed, and through the process of my very good friend Lee Adams, who number one kicked me in the stomach, to drop me down to the ground, to remove my ego, and then make me stand in front of the class every single week, 2 or 3 times in a week, standing in front of them, teaching them martial arts. I had to learn to project my voice, and to this day, I still speak from my stomach. And when my stomach area gets tired and I go back to the voice, like 95% of the people speak through their throat, I'm unable to speak from my throat for some reason. But one thing I did not give up on was hope. Hope was the seed that allowed me to continue. But when I did finally get my voice back, from that hope, I had new visions, new goals, new dreams, and I went down that path. But my confidence had been knocked and shattered to the point where I couldn't even tell this story to anyone until this year, 2018, was the first time I actually spoke up about the emotions that I went through by accident when I was standing in front, training my 20 or 30 staff in a training process at my nursery. And I accidentally mentioned that I had lost my voice. And then one of the girls said, "Oh, if you don't mind, could you explain what happened?" And at that point, when I was explaining this story, I started having quivering, my voice started quivering, and I realized that deep down it was buried, and I had to unearth this. And from unearthing this story and now sharing it with yourselves, I'm able to finally get my confidence back. So my confidence actually came back. My full confidence actually came back this year. But one thing that was always with me was hope. So what is hope? Hope is the seed that everything, all of our goals, visions, dreams, achievements are all created from. If we lose hope, we lose everything. One thing we can never lose is hope. Because from that seed of hope, our visions, our dreams, first we start dreaming, we start thinking, oh, I could do this. There's a possibility that I can become this. I could do this. That person's done it, I could do it. And all of a sudden you've got this hope, the hope that you're able to do it. And from there, the dream is created. And from the dream, you create a plan step by step. And when you walk down that path, then you face obstacles. And once you hit those obstacles, then it's time to actually break through the obstacles and push the boulders to the side and keep moving forward. And from there, achievement and winning happens. However, sometimes what happens is going down a path, you reach a wall that is unbreakable and you think, geez, it's all over. And then you start going backwards, just like what happened with me and my dream of becoming an actor on Broadway, standing in front, performing for people. And once my voice was taken away, I started going back and back. My dreams, my achievements, my dreams, my visions, everything went back. But one thing that was remaining, one small thing that was remaining, was hope. And as long as we have hope, we still have a chance for the plant of growth, dreams, achievements to all form out of there. But it's up to us to take care of that seed, the seed of hope. Just a quick story to talk about hope. So everyone, just keep adding value to people's lives. Keep spreading the love. Just remember, as long as you have hope, you have the chance of creating dreams, visions, and achieving. If you do not have hope, then get hope. You must start off with their hope. Hope is achieved through a story, through building a belief. That's how it's achieved. So once you've got the belief inside of you, that's hope. Belief is hope. So once you believe it, the hope is created. So the hope is the seed that everything, a huge tree, is created from. So that's something that we can never, ever forget. And especially now that the new year is coming, we want to achieve, we want to do, but what we have to do is keep hope alive and keep moving forward step by step. Guys, keep adding value, keep spreading the love, and just remember, we're one idea away from changing the future. Take care. Thank you guys, and I love you. Bye.